Hey guys, how's it going? So we're back with another video. Today I was on Facebook Marketplace and I saw a guitar listed for $20 and it said it had broken tuning buttons and it was missing some strings. $20. So on my way home from running errands today I went and picked it up. Here it is. This is a Peavey Rockmaster and this guitar is seriously in the worst condition of any electric guitar I think I've ever seen, short of it being completely broken. So let's get it on the workbench and look it over and see if we can fix it up and get it back into playing shape. Here you go, Peavey Rockmaster. And I'm serious, this is the worst condition guitar I think I've ever seen. At least personally. I don't even know where to start. So obviously it's missing knobs. But like, how does this happen? Look at this. This is what's left of a volume knob. How did they physically do this? That's not even like the worst part. The strings are all completely rusted. Pretty much every screw on the guitar is rusted. If you look at the side of the fingerboard, there's like these deep, see if you can see that. There's these deep gouges in the side of the fingerboard. Two of the tuning heads are missing. The body is beat to hell. I mean, look at that. Every screw on this guitar is rusted. If we flip it like this, so this was a model that had a built-in overdrive and a built-in tuner and a headphone jack, a headphone amp, and all that stuff. And you operate it with a battery. But check it out. There's the battery compartment. It's missing, and the wires are gone for the 9-volt battery. They just don't exist anymore. And look at the back. I mean, this is unbelievable. I'm surprised that this isn't loose. But yeah, this is in horrible, horrible, horrible condition. Horrible condition. It just, somebody said this during a live stream the other day, and I had to agree. Some people just shouldn't be allowed to have guitars. How do you let your guitar get like this? Seriously. This is loose down here. But how do you let your guitar get in this condition? Like, I'm serious. Did they drop it in a lake and then throw it in a garage and then cut the grass and throw this out in the grass and then drop lawn clippings all over it and then leave it out in the rain? I mean, look at that. How did it get so filthy and dirty up there? I mean, wow. The fingerboard, you can't really tell, is filthy. Maybe you can. You can see some oxidization going on there. See how it's turning green? I don't know if I'm going to be able to save this, guys. But we're going to try. I guess the first thing we need to do is get the strings off and then just check inside the guitar and make sure there's no surprises. I guess we'll start with the Pickguard and the Humbucker. So let's go ahead and get the screws out if we can and take off this Pickguard. All right, I'm kind of freaked out about what we're going to find in here. Are there going to be bugs? Oh no, it's clean. Oh, thank God. Okay, well there you go. Under the Pickguard, there's not really anything. You can see right here we've got some dime-sized pots. There you go. Dime-sized pots with a green cap. Soldering job looks okay. I mean, it's probably factory. But there you go. All right. Let's look at the Humbucker next. All right, I'm nervous about this too. What's going to be in here? Anything? Oh, there's a dead bug in there. Great. Oh, there's lots of dead bugs in there. Oh, God. Now, none of them are alive. There's your Humbucker all rusted on the bottom, and there's a dead bug on the bottom of it, too. Oh, that's absolutely disgusting. Oh. Okay, well, I'm going to clean that up. I'll be right back. Okay, the bugs are gone. I will say I'm so glad that they were dead, because if they weren't dead, that would have been a catastrophe. But they were. Oh, looks like I missed one right here. Let me grab that too. All right, now that we got all the bugs out of here and we've looked inside, I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity to clean this guitar body a little bit before we flip it over. Alright, it may not look like much, but that's probably the cleanest this guitar has been in years. There's still a lot of marks and stuff all over it, dings and scuffs, but at least the top part of the body looks a little bit better. What I want to do now is get... What the heck? What is that? What is that? Tell me, what is that? That's so stupid. Why would they do that? How did they do that? Whatever. I guess I'll put that in my little drawer. Let's pick out some new knobs, shall we? I've got a drawer full of knobs here. I'm gonna pick, here's a volume. Here, this looks good. It's a Gibson style, but that should work. And I got a tone one too. Yeah. There you go. Changed my mind. I went with these two. They're extras from the parts drawer. I got all the screws back in, and now I'm going to clean off this fingerboard. Now we're going to remove the battery cover on the back. What surprises are going to be in there? Let's see. Here we go. Oh, more bugs. Oh, they're all dead, thankfully, but that's absolutely disgusting. Oh, how do you let a guitar get like this? God, some people just shouldn't be allowed to have them. All right, let me clean this out. Okay, it's all cleaned out. You can see here where the 9-volt battery connector for this used to be, and it got cut or broken out. No respect, man. Absolutely no respect. I don't understand how people can treat anything like this, especially a guitar. I don't care if this is an expensive guitar or not. You don't treat instruments this way. This is horrible. I'm going to clean this a little bit more, and then we'll look at the headstock. Before we get to the headstock, I want to show you this. It's a shame that we can't really use it because the 9-volt battery connector was broken off by the previous owner. But this has a tuner built into it, and then you can actually turn on Overdrive and have a headphone amp. So that's kind of a cool feature with this guitar. Unfortunately, like I said, I need to buy a new 9-volt battery connector to get that working. And I may do that on this channel at a later time. All right, let's take a look at one of the worst parts about this guitar, the headstock. So it is filthy. Look at that. Ugh, disgusting. String trees are completely loose. All of the tuners are loose. 2 of them are missing. Like, you can't break a tuner off. So that means that somebody, for some reason, took them off. Why? Why would they do that? It wasn't like this was owned by somebody who knew how to work on a guitar, because if they did, it wouldn't be in this condition. Like, did they... I don't even know. I can't even think of something clever to say about this. Ridiculous. I guess the first thing we need to do is clean it, so I'm going to take the string trees off. With the string trees off, I can now easily spray the hell out of this and clean it. Man, that's just disgusting. If we look at the back, you can see, I guess thankfully the screw holes are not shredded out, but you can see the kind of tuners they are. In fact, luckily, I've got a whole drawer full of tuners that match. Let's see this one right here. Check it out. This one is for a reverse headstock guitar, but I've got a bunch of Squier tuners. See, look, there you go. So I'm just gonna grab a couple of those out of my parts drawer and we'll install it. Got a couple of them. Here's one of them right here. So the easiest way to do this is you unscrew this part, you take it and you stick it underneath like this, drop it back down, finger tighten it like this. Okay, and then once you've got it finger tightened, you'll flip it over, line up the screw hole, which it's lined up, grab a screw. I have a parts drawer full of screws. And you just screw it in. Okay, and then once you've got it screwed in, flip it back over, and then grab a socket wrench or something like this. I have this Music Nomad screwdriver thing. It's got that on the end of it. And you come down here and you just tighten it as tight as you possibly can so it doesn't move. It still needs a little bit more. Keep going. go. And that's in there. Cool. I'm going to do the other one now. There we go. Next thing to address is the tuning buttons themselves are super loose. Look at that. See how loose that is? So I'm going to tighten that quite a bit. You don't want it to be so tight that you can't turn it, but you want it to be tight enough that it's, you know, tight. Okay? And then I'm going to grab my tool and I'm going to tighten all of these because these are all ridiculously loose. Okay, like that. Okay, one more. There. Now they are all tighter and they're not spinning around freely. All right, one last thing to check before we string it up. I want to make sure that we can turn the truss rod. We may not be able to turn it, but I expect it to be broken considering everything else in this guitar is broken. So I'm just going to take an Allen wrench. I'm going to stick it in there and see. It's not broken. I feel tension. Okay, well that's good. I'm not going to mess with it. I'm going to leave it like it is. Let's string it up and see if we need to adjust the truss rod. All right, so once you've got it all strung up, you want to set the action. I set the action in a weird way. So what I do is I go up to this high E string and I start bending it. Hear how it chokes? If it chokes, that means I need to raise it. So to raise it, you just take your Allen wrench and you raise the saddle a little bit on both sides. Okay? Make sure it's in tune. And then try it again. It's still choking a little, so it needs to be raised just a little more. And that's probably gonna do it. There we go. I'm going to do that with the rest of the strings now. Alright, now that we've got the action set where we want it, I'm now going to adjust the pickup height. What I typically do is, I will fret the last fret on the guitar, and then I'll take my screwdriver, I'll stick it in the adjustment screw, like this. I will tighten it until it's close to touching but not quite. And then I'll stop. Then I'll do the same thing on the other side. Close to touching, but not quite. And then I will stop. And that's going to be my pickup height. Let's plug it in and see how it sounds. Okay, here we go. It's all strung up. This thing weighs nothing. It's super light. Let's see how it sounds. We've got the Crate Blue Voodoo 60 over here. I don't know what's gonna happen. Not bad. Let's put on some reverb. Okay. So far, so good. I was able to get the action incredibly low, by the way. Like super, super, super low, like it's almost touching the fingerboard. Let's turn on some overdrive. I mean, that's impressive. 20 bucks. Now, I guess you could say that I did spend some money on the tuners. I didn't. I had them in my drawer, but like if you did something like this and you don't have a parts drawer like me, you might have had to go and, you know, buy some tuners. That's like $5, $10 for like the cheapest cheapo tuners. And that's all this needed. Everything else was just elbow grease. And it's a perfectly functional and usable guitar. It's actually not a bad guitar at all. I want to see how well it cleans up. So it's up loud now. Pretty well, actually. Alright, so that's the Peavey Rockmaster, and what do I think of it? I think this is a hell of a guitar, seriously. It's very light, it's very easy to play. I was able to get the action on it super low. One of the interesting things about it that makes it different from something like a Squier Bullet hardtail is that it actually goes through the back of the body. And I think that makes a bit of a difference as far as how the strings respond when you play them and a little bit how they sound. It's not going to matter as much if you're someone in the market for a guitar like this, but I much prefer if it goes through the body. That's an extra step in manufacturing that they did not have to take, and they did take that step. And I appreciate that they did that. All in all, it's a good guitar. I mean, I think even this one, in this current condition, plays better than a Bullet Squier, honestly. The neck feels better. The pickup sounds awesome. I mean, I have that scratchy tone pot, but I mean, that's probably from the previous owner. It probably didn't come from the factory that way. And even if it did, who cares? You can play it really any kind of music. You could play something, you know, real mellow. From that, all the way up to something crazy. I mean, the pickup's not the greatest, it's a little bit muddy, but it's not bad. It really isn't bad. I would definitely recommend this guitar. These usually can be found for like between $40 and $60 on Marketplace, depending on where you are. Even GuitarCenter.com sells them for like $59.99 used. And if you need a guitar, want something like this with a humbucker, go for it. It's a fun guitar. I really like it. I like that it uses the old Peavey logo instead of the newer one. I think they went back to the old one, so the old is new again, I guess. But yeah, I recommend it. Good guitar, very easy to play, very easy to set up, and there's not much that goes into maintaining or restoring it. I mean, it's one humbucker. I'm surprised there's a tone knob, honestly. They could have got away with not having a tone knob if they wanted to, and I would have been okay with it. So, there you go. We'll leave a link in the description to buy one of these new if you would like, so you can buy one. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I very much appreciate all of you. Please like and subscribe. Please join us on Discord if you haven't already. There's a link in the description below. We talk about guitar, gear, etc. Things like this, finds like this. We talk about them in there pretty much every day. So yeah, thanks again for watching. I appreciate all of you. See you next time, and keep on rocking.